What's up guys, it's Aiden, and today we are going through how Drake made Chicago Freestyle on FL Studio. So the first thing we're doing today is creating this piano. I found this piano on Omnisphere inside of Keyscape. It's the LA Custom C7 Mellow piano. So this is what it sounds like without any filters. Then we're adding Parametric EQ2 to bring up the bass. And then Sound Goodizer to make it a bit more colorful. Then Maximus, and we're bringing down the stereo separation. Then Isotope Vinyl, and I'm bringing the year down to 1980 to give it an old school effect. Then we're using Fruity Chorus and Fruity Flanges and Fruity Love Filter to give it a lo-fi effect. The next thing I did was add the synth. This is what it sounds like. It's a really cool sound, and I created it using a few different synths. First off, we're using the LA Custom Mellow piano again, but I'm bringing up the attack. So instead of it sounding like this, it sounds like this. Also on this piano, I'm bringing down the timbre. Then I'm duplicating this preset and I'm bringing up the timbre again to 0.5. So with the same preset playing twice, once with the timbre being brought down, it creates a more complicated sound, a more nuanced sound, and the kind of sound that we're after in recreating this song. Yeah. Then we're layering in one more keyboard from Omnisphere. It's the Rhodes Classic, and again we're bringing up the attack. So all the pianos playing together sounds like this. But we're still missing that spacey feel that you get from the sound, so I'm adding in this preset from Serum. So I created the sound using a sine wave, which you can find inside of Analog and Basic Shapes, and you just leave the wavetable position at 1. Then I'm bringing up the unison to 9 to add more voices to the sound. Then we're putting on a filter, which in this case is the MG Low 12, and we're modulating the cutoff using LFO1. Then I'm just adding hyperdimension, chorus, and this high pass filter. So this is what it sounds like without any filters. Then I'm adding Destructor, and I'm putting on distortion, filter, and speaker. Fruity Limiter, and I'm bringing up the gain to make it a lot louder. Then we're adding in Pitch Wheel, and I brought up the timbre to +12. Then we're creating an automation clip so that the timbre changes as the song plays. Then we're adding Parametric EQ2 to cut out some of the highs. Then Fruity Chorus to make the sound a bit more lo-fi. Then we're modulating it using Parametric EQ2 again. And then Fruity Reverb 2 to add some more room to the sound. So you are using a bunch of effects on this sound. Sorry if my explanation made absolutely no sense to you at all. So again, I'm going to leave the FLP in the description below. Now let's look at the kick/808 loop. So the kick playing here is the Lex Heavy Kick, and playing with that is the original 808 Mafia 808. Then playing with that is the percussion. Next up is the clap, which is a really interesting sound. So here I've used 3 different claps, and this clicking sound, and a few other different percussion sounds. And finally we have this hi-hat. The hi-hat loops every 8 bars, but you can see it switches up slightly every 2 bars. That's it for the instrumental. This section repeats throughout the entire song, so that's all you need to know. I'll play you a clip from the song now. Thanks for watching guys, I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.